Oh man, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Listen, I hope everybody is out there blessed. I hope you are still keeping the mission and the dream and the faith. I hope you're keeping God first because I want you to understand something. When you keep God first, you'll never be last. And some of us been focused on money and chasing money for so long that we forgot about God. I want you to understand that, like, why chase the rat when you can get the cheese, right? And the rat gonna come to the cheese. So it's kind of like why chase the money? Why chase the house? Why chase the car? Why chase those things when you can chase God and He come with all that? You feel me? Let's just put this thing in perspective and make it make sense, right? When I was chasing money, y'all, I didn't get God nor the money. I want you to understand what I'm saying. When I was chasing money, I didn't get the money, nor did I get God. But watch this. Once I started following my purpose and getting closer to God, building a closer relationship with God, and start using my gift, like the money started coming. I got a better relationship with God. I'm better spiritually. I'm better mentally. I'm better financially. Like he gonna bless you in all those areas when you just do this one thing for Him, and that is living your purpose and chase your gift. Right? That is to serve the people He put you to serve and please Him. Right? Most of us try to serve God and please the people. No, we supposed to please God and serve the people. I was put here to serve. You was put here to serve. Your problem is you don't want to serve. You want to please the people. You know what I'm saying? And so I need for us today, this is what we're going to do, y'all. We're going to focus more on finding our purpose this year. 2024, we're going to focus on purpose. We ain't going to trip on the money. Most of us been focused on money so long and you still broke. So that'll give you a sign something's not clicking, something's not working. I need to figure out, okay, what do work? And I'm telling you, the day you find your purpose, the day you find out why you was born, the day you find out why God put you here, the day you start using the gift He put inside you, everything else gonna open up for you, right? But I want to get into today, y'all. I want to talk about the same thing God bless you with, He gonna test you with. There's a testing after the blessing. There's a testing after the blessing. The same thing God bless you with, He gonna test you with. And so we're gonna get into it, right? As y'all know about the story about Abraham and Sarah, right? They couldn't conceive a child for so long, right? But after 25 years, God finally blessed them with their son Isaac. After 25 years, after that long journey, they questioned God. They didn't believe. They tried to do things their way. That's why she made Abraham sleep with Hagar, and she ended up regretting it in the end. And that's what happened when we try to do things our way and don't wait on God. I want you to understand something. Your timing and God's time is two different times. So the journey don't be hard, y'all. It be the fact that we're expecting things to happen on our time. We grind for 2 years and we look up like, God, why it ain't happen yet? And God, hey, bro, you ain't did enough. Right? The thing we think it might take 2 years, and sometimes it might take 5, y'all. Sometimes it may take 10, it might take 20. For Abraham and Sarah, it took 25 years for them to have a child. 25 years. God say, listen, you just have to trust me on the journey. Don't question me. Just put your head down and work, y'all. Listen, don't focus on time, just grind. It gonna be what it gonna be. And God gonna do what He gonna do regardless. Bro, you can't make it speed up no faster. You can't control God's timing. And so most of us are frustrated because we trying to do things we can't control. We're trying to control the uncontrollable. And one thing you can't control is God's timing. So the best thing for you to do and for me to do is just to put our head down and grind and just live in our purpose, bro. That's it, right? But we're going to get into this. We're going to read Genesis chapter 22. We're going to read this whole chapter, y'all, because I really want to get into some things I really want to tell y'all. And I really want y'all to understand, the same thing God bless you with, He will test you with, right? The same thing He bless you with, He will test you with. So we're going to get into it, because this story really good. When I ran across it, it was real good. We're going to start Genesis chapter 22, verse 1. Sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham, here I am, he replied. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on the mountain I will show you. Now, first of all, I know most of us would be like, hold up, girl, you talking about sacrifice my only child? You talking about the same child you blessed me with? The same child it took me 25 years to have? The same child that I questioned you about the whole time on the journey? Now you want me to sacrifice him? Now most of us would have failed the test right there. Because we already like, oh, hold up. That same house God bless you with, you like, nah, God, you told me to get a house to them. No, The same car I had to wait this long for, now you want me to give it away? Nah. And see, like, I'm telling you, the same thing he'll bless you with, he'll test you with, right? So we're going to keep reading. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and loaded his donkey. He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place that God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servant, stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship and then we will come back to you. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and himself carried the fire and the knife. As the 2 of them went on together, Isaac spoke up and said to his father, Abraham, Father. Yes, my son, Abraham replied. The fire and wood are here, Isaac said, but where's the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And the 2 of them went on together. When they reached the place that God had told them about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took his knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out from the heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Here I am, replied, don't lay a hand on the boy. He said, do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld me from your son, your only son. Like, we're going to stop there for a minute, y'all. And see, God didn't want, God didn't want him to hurt his own son. Like, come on. Like, this style, God didn't want him to sacrifice his own son. But God just want to see if you really down with me like you say you down with me. Like, do you really trust me like you say you trust me? Do you really have faith? Do you really have faith in me like you say you have faith in me? Or you just want to believe in me when it's convenient for you? Because sometimes God will do certain things with that same thing he blessed her with just to test her. Just to see, like, do we put more emphasis on the thing he blessed her with? Or do we put more emphasis on him and his word and his worship? Like, do we put more emphasis on God or the things he blessed her with? Do you put more emphasis on that house? Or do you put more emphasis on God? Do you put more emphasis on the car? Do you put more emphasis on the money? Do you put more emphasis on God? Like, because sometimes we get in a position where we done got so blessed, y'all. Like, God done blessed us so much that we forgot that God was the one that blessed you with it. And so God, like, hey, look, I'm going to see if you really bought what you talking about. I'm going to see if you really down with me, or you just wanted the materialistic things I bless you with. Like, he tested him with his only son. But as we can see, no. They told him, no. Don't put a thing on that boy. Now that we know that you fear God, like, we know this now. And some of us would have failed the test because we put so much emphasis on materialistic things and the thing God had blessed us with, and not even realize it's just a test. You don't even realize it's just a test. And some of us have already failed because we put more emphasis on money. You don't put more emphasis on that job than you put on God. You don't put more emphasis on that house than you put on God. You don't put more emphasis on them clothes, them trips, and everything else. And you don't put more emphasis on your own husband and your wife than you put on God. You put more trust in them than you put in God. And you don't even realize, like, God can, the same way he bless you with it, he can take it from you. Like, we don't even realize that. Right? We don't even realize the same thing he blessed us with, he can take it from us, y'all. Right? And so we're going to keep reading. We're going to keep reading. We're going to keep reading. Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket he saw a ram caught by his horn. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called that place the Lord will provide. And to this day it is said, on the mountain of the Lord will be provided. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from the heaven the second time and said, I swear by myself, declare the Lord, that because you have done this, and you have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendant as numerous as the stars in the sky, as the sand on the seashore. Your descendant will take possession of the cities of their enemies, and through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed because you have obeyed me. Y'all, just that simple. Just obey God. Like, just do what God tell you to do. Like Abraham passed the test. He did. Like God say, like, you were willing to give up your only son, like your only son. You were willing to sacrifice your only child for me. So because of that, watch this, y'all. I want to read this again. I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars. Now I want to ask y'all something. He said he's gonna make his descendants as numerous as the stars. I want y'all to answer this. How many stars are in the sky? You can't count them. Like God gonna bless you so much when you do what he told you to do. Like, you won't have to worry about nothing no more. And your offsprings. Like he said, I'm gonna bless your kids, your descendants. Like, that means the people that are attached to you. And some of us not understanding, like, that's why the dream and obeying God don't mean that much to you, because you don't really care about the people that come behind you. God literally, once one person be obedient, it fall out to their offspring, it fall out to their descendants. And I need for us to start being obedient. He told him, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Like, I don't know how much sand on that seashore, y'all. Like, that means abundance. Like, God is an abundant God. God wants us to live in abundance, and most of us are not in a place in abundance. For one, we're not obeying God's word, and for two, like, we are not living in our purpose, y'all. Like, God, watch this. I'm telling you, like, that was a test. God didn't want him to sacrifice his son for real, but God wanted to see, was Abraham really down with him, like he said he down with him. I want to see, do you care? Like, do you still love me? Like, even though I done bless you already, I want to see, do you still got love for me? Even though God done gave you that big house that you asked for, God want to see, do you still got love for him? Even though I gave you the six-figure salary you wanted, do you still got love for him? Even though God done bless you with that nice car you wanted, do you still got love for him? Even though God done bless you with that spouse, do you still got love for him? Even though God done bless you with that seed you've been asking for 25 years, for 10 years, however long it took, do you still love me? And so that's why God gonna test us sometimes. God want to see, do you still got love for him? Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they set out together for Beersheba, and Abraham stayed in Beersheba. Like, just because Abraham obeyed God's word, regardless of how uncomfortable it may be, regardless of how he might not even want to do it for real, but he was like, he loved God so much that he willing to obey his word, like, with no question asked. He was willing to sacrifice his only son, y'all. And because of that, when God didn't even want him to do that, God told him, no, don't you lay a hand on that boy. But I see that you fear me so much now, I'm finna bless you and your descendants. And like, they gonna make them numbers of the stars in the sky and the sands on the seashore. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know how much sand on that seashore. I don't know how many stars in the sky. And I don't think we can count them. That just means abundance. Like, God wants us to live an abundant life, y'all. We supposed to be living in abundance. And see, like, God gonna test you. And I need for you to be ready and be prepared for the test. Because it's coming. Because like, I promise you it's coming, but I need for you to be prepared for the test. I don't need for you to put nothing higher than God. Like he seemed like God was like, hey man, you willing to sacrifice your son for me. Like, come on, how many of us really got that type of sacrifice for God? Just being 100. Like, how many of us really ready to sacrifice that same thing that God blessed us with? How many of us are really ready to be tested with that same thing he blessed us with? Be for real. And I want you to understand that same thing can either be a curse to you or it can be your blessing. Because Abraham could have chose not to say, nah, God, I ain't, no. Even though you blessed me with my only son, like, nah, I ain't finna, no, I'm not sacrificing my son. And he would have messed up his life and his offspring life, all because he disobeyed God. I want you to understand something. I don't care how uncomfortable how inconvenient, how painful, how sacrificial it may look, just do what God tell you to do. Do what God tell you to do. I don't care how uncomfortable it may seem. Or you might think God wrong. I need you to do what Father God plan to do what he tell you to do. Because if you're obedient, I want you to understand something. Your obedience will lead to so many other people blessing. So man, that's what I got for y'all today. Hope y'all have a blessed day. Continue to keep the faith. Continue to stay strong. Continue to stay prayed up. And always remember this. Keep God first, you'll never be last.